Now it works? Did it work? Okay, it worked. Is the thumbnail correct though? Anyways, we've got an unwarned strong tornado on the ground right now in west central Nebraska. There's a very intense supercell ongoing. I was just looking around at the severe warnings and I saw this big debris signature, classic supercell, currently unwarned in west central Nebraska. There's a large tornado on the ground. We are at a tornado warning thanks to Illinois. So there's no tornado warning on this currently, but there is a strong tornado on the ground right now. Most likely, I'd be very shocked if this is not a strong tornado on the ground right now. So make sure you are seeking shelter. This is out here in Whitman. We just ended the last live stream, so I barely even got to do anything before I came right back on here. Make sure you are in your safe spot. I'm going to go ahead and just pin a message really quick. I wanted to come back on here just for a bit because I figured this is probably not going to last too long. Lord have mercy, we've got a reflectivity debris ball. This is a strong tornado on the ground. Strong tornado on the ground right now. What is this town name? Whitman. Nebraska or Kansas? This is in Nebraska. I don't know how to spell Nebraska. Oh well, all that matters is that I get the tweet out. My goodness. So very strong tornado unwarned out here in west central Nebraska. Make sure you are in your safe spot. We've got a very strong tornado on the ground currently. This is this is barely even, I mean, this is probably barely in the 2%. Probably not even in the 2% tornado risk. Let's go check real quick. Here's your tornado probabilities, and it is outside of the 2% tornado risk. So very strong. Breaking debris signatures now. Breaking correlation coefficient. So that means that this is a very strong tornado. Oh my goodness. We are so lucky this isn't going over a really populated town, but wow. This went right over Whitman. That is exactly why we have such a big debris signature, because Whitman just took a direct impact from a tornado. Still unwarned, strong tornado on the ground. Oh my goodness. This is wild. Absolutely crazy. Is that it? Is that it? Yep.
Tornado warning for northeastern Grant County in west central Nebraska, northwestern Hooker County in west central Nebraska, Grant, and Hooker County in Nebraska.
Weather spotters confirmed a tornado on the ground with this. This is most likely a very large and very intense tornado. This was unwarned for at least 5 minutes. This was an unwarned strong tornado. That is a massive debris signature. Massive debris signature. We've got a strong tornado on the ground. This is observed now, thankfully. But unfortunately, Whitman had no warning. They did have a severe thunderstorm warning, but that's not going to make you think about a strong tornado potential. Rapidly intensified. And I pointed it out before I ended the last live stream. I said if we could get a discrete storm out here, we may see a tornado. And here we are with the discrete supercell. This thing is really rotating. I mean, we are talking about over 160 mile an hour wind rotation here. So this is a very intense tornado ongoing right now, just south of Whitman in west central Nebraska. So you need to make sure you're in your safe spot if you're in this tornado warning. Not sure why they didn't just do the PDS warning for this one. Pretty surprised on that. They just went with the observed warning, which is better than a radar indicated one. But regardless, there is a very intense tornado ongoing right now. Classic supercell. I mean, my goodness. That is just a very impressive supercell. My word. Let's see. Yeah, I went live in between these two scans. I wanted to see when I went live. I went live just before Whitman was hit. I could have been sooner, but honestly, I wasn't really looking this far west. I was more focused in on that tornado warning in Illinois that we had earlier once I started the live stream. But anyways, we do have a strong tornado still on the ground. This should be weakening. This should be weakening. Keyword here is should. The hook echo should be now occluding into the base of the supercell, which should help this storm to just lift. It should lift pretty rapidly here. Really, really rapidly. Yeah, Connor just pointed it out too. He ain't even live. He put it on Twitter. So again, we do have a strong tornado on the ground here. Was unwarned for multiple minutes here. This thing touched down at 147 Z. It did not get a warning until 157 Z. So about 10 minutes, this strong tornado was on the ground without a tornado warning. Any tornado warning, not even a radar indicated tornado warning. So Whitman took a direct hit from a most likely intense tornado. That's what prompted that large debris signature to go from a small debris signature to very large in one scan, and it is staying with that large debris signature. This is mainly over rural areas now. I don't think there's many towns out here. The National Weather Service Twitter account's down, so I can't tell you how many people are out here. And we now have a view of it. Yep, 7 minutes ago. Large confirmed tornado. Large confirmed tornado. Someone has a... Wow, that is a really crazy picture. That is a crazy picture. My goodness, I'm going to retweet that. That is crazy. It is occluding now. That is insane. So, see how that hook is, when it went over Whitman, it was more detached. You could see the clear inflow notch here. It was still very close to that occluding process. See how narrow your inflow is going to get there north of the hook. Now there's no inflow. It's really completely cutting off that inflow back out in this area. So this should lift very, very soon. This should lift very soon. Gracious day. Absolutely crazy. Whitman, Nebraska. Whitman, Nebraska. It's in relatively rural regions of Nebraska. It did unfortunately hit Whitman directly, unwarned too. So this is a very rare situation. It is not common that we have a intense tornado unwarned hitting a decently populated town. I'd guess there's around the realms of 50 to 100 people who live in Whitman. And I mean, it went right over Whitman, so that's why I went live for it. Once I saw it, I went live. I saw it on this scan. This scan here. I went live, but my live stream didn't start, so I had to end it and restart it. So I had a little bit of technical errors for a whole minute. Gracious day. So many pictures now coming out of this tornado. There was a lot of chasers on this. Gracious day. That's crazy. My word. Absolutely insane. Let me go to that newest scan where the debris signature is beginning to light up. So this is an occluding tornado. Means that the tornado is beginning to weaken. After we ended the last live stream, a lot of storms got downgraded from significant severes to normal. So it was very tame. It was actually quite tame after we ended the stream until this thing decided to show up and produce a strong tornado. And I wonder if this is going to be able to try and do it again. This might try to do it again. It is still on the ground. It is still on the ground, by the way. It's just in its weakening phase, starting to occlude. The hook echoes beginning to cut off the inflow notch, resulting in the storm beginning to weaken. The tornado's probably starting to rope out right about now. Unless this is one of those storms that go into a donut. Sometimes when your hook echo occludes, the hook can wrap all the way around and become a hook echo, or rather a donut. Your hook echo could become more of a donut, and that leads your tornado to move from the hook portion of the storm to more of where the inflow normally is, which allows for, instead of this being the inflow right here, it would allow for this to be the inflow here. So when a hook can occlude and it becomes a donut, sometimes it can last a lot longer. I wonder if it's starting to do that. It looks pretty much lifted. Already one sneeze. My goodness. I really hope there's not a good scenario for Whitman. I mean, there's just not. Maybe it missed it a tiny bit to the east. I just doubt it, though. I doubt it. Again, I don't think there was many people in this warning, though. I don't have a way to tell you how many people are in the warning, but this is lifting really quick now. That debris signature is lighting up a lot. So, again, this is where your tornado first touchdown, then boo, there's your big tornado, boo, there's your significant tornado, goes over Whitman, boom, there's all your debris from, unfortunately, probably homes, and then it just continues to get bigger and bigger, and now that debris is starting to shrink as the tornado's lifting and the debris is starting to fall out of the atmosphere back towards the ground, so we do have fallout occurring here. Maybe a weak tornado is still on the ground. If not, that tornado's fully lifted and there's just debris falling. Lord have mercy. Hold on in a second. Oh my goodness. Some of that might be hail. But I have a feeling at least some of this CC here is debris. More north, you start to get into the hail core up here. So this is most likely hail. But at least some portion of what I've circled down here is debris fallout as well from the debris going up into the tornado, up into the atmosphere, being picked up by the tornado, and then wrapped around into the mesocyclone and into the base of the supercell. That might still be on the ground. That might still be on the ground. See how that debris signature recondensed? See how it spread it out here? Your blue was more like this, spread out. And on that newest scan, you could see more of a ball. I wonder if that is re-intensified. We'll wait for the next velocity scan here. We'll see what the next velocity scan has to show. Yeah, your velocity's back up. This is now a unconfirmed tornado warning. We're back to radar indicated, and this might have just touched back down. This might have just touched back down, and they've just went unconfirmed on that. There's still 100% chance of debris right now in that blue area. Whether or not that is fallout, the tornado is lifted, and it's just the debris falling from the tornado, or if the tornado is still on the ground lofting that debris, we really can't tell right now. We're kind of in the phase of it's in between its occluding process and re-intensifying. I'm leaning towards that more of not being on the ground, but it very well could be. It very well could be. So we'll wait for that new scan to come through. I mean, gracious, y'all. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. That is insane. I don't want to do that just yet. Sorry for not talking for a second. I'm just trying to type something out. This was in Whitman, Kansas. Or no, Nebraska. Okay. Let's go to that new scan. Hopefully we got a new scan here. That still could be on the ground. That still could be on the ground, so make sure you're in your safe spot if you're in that tornado warning. Wow. Very crazy, man. JD, you missed a bunch earlier, but I activated an urgent live stream once I saw this supercell hit Whitman, and by the time we were live, the next scan showed a ridiculous reflectivity debris ball for a long time. So, unfortunately, Whitman, Nebraska took a direct hit from an unwarned strong to potentially intense tornado. Gracious day. This is still on the ground. Fallout doesn't last that long. Fallout does not last that long. And if it does, it gets lighter and lighter with time. So, see how this was a big debris ball? It gets a little lighter, really light, very light, and then it comes back. This is 100% on the ground again. This is 100% back on the ground. So this is currently a radar indicated big tornado on the ground. Caden, we had an unwarned strong tornado hit a town. It was not warned. This freaking radar presentation, Caden, was not warned. Look at this. This is moments ago, which we were live for this radar scan. Just to show you what was not warned here. Just going through all your normal products. That was unwarned. I went live on this scan, however, my stream didn't start for some reason. So it took me 1 minute more, but I was still live by the time this scan was finishing in, and then this rendered in. And we saw that live. This is back on the ground. I pointed it out before I ended the stream. I pointed this storm out before I ended the stream. I said if we could get a discrete storm in this environment, it could produce a tornado. And it was right there. I just didn't look. I didn't look at the reflectivity. I didn't look at the reflectivity and do a deep dive into it before I ended the live stream, which warranted me not to see it. It's still on the ground. Again, this is most likely still on the ground. It's just radar indicated. It either lifted for 3 minutes or weakened for 3 minutes and then intensified. So this is either a different tornado from the exact same mesocyclone, or it lifted and then immediately reproduced after 3 minutes. Emergency management relayed from sheriff. Tornado is on the ground 1/2 mile to the north of Whitman. So now we know Whitman took a direct hit. Because if you follow that radar presentation from that report, Whitman took a direct hit. Alright, now we're lighting up again. We are lighting up again. Let's see what the reflectivity, or not the reflectivity, but the velocity has to say here. Could still be on the ground. Could still be on the ground. Alright, I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Absolutely crazy stuff. Wow. I mean, y'all, honestly, you don't this is the textbook Supercell right here. The hook's a little bit into the inflow. It's not as far south as you would like, but that is a textbook. Like, flop it on page 11, textbook ordeal. Because that, I mean, that is ridiculously textbook right there. I mean, my word, man. Oh no, look at that clear eagle split. You see that clear eagle split right down the middle? Look at that. See it where you have one updraft kind of going this way and then a secondary one here. I'm not exactly sure what causes an eagle split. I'll have to talk to my friend about that. I haven't really understood that just yet. But you can see the eagle split in this supercell. Very classic, man. Okay, this is most likely lifted again. Again, we'll wait for the velocity scan to show us what the winds are doing with this storm. But this is most likely lifted here. Here comes a tornado warning. Yeah, it is radar indicated this time. I think it might have actually lifted this time. Yeah, that is much weaker. This is the weakest this storm's ever been ever since putting down a tornado. So this time it's probably lifted. We'll see the next debris scan, see if there's still debris or not.
Tornado warning for northeastern Arthur County in west central Nebraska, southeastern Grant County in west central Nebraska, southwestern Hooker County in west central Nebraska, northwestern McPherson County in west central Nebraska, Arthur, Grant, Hooker, and McPherson County in Nebraska.
Alright, so this will most likely attempt to put down another tornado as long as that ZDR arc stays in place, and it is very strong. A very clear ZDR arc right now, so this supercell is not going anywhere anytime soon. Until that ZDR breaks up, this thing's gonna attempt to produce another tornado. This is all the way out in western Nebraska, so no. That storm north of OKC is weakening quite a bit. We'll see how that continues. My goodness. Man, oh man. Again, just waiting for the news debris signature here, which should be now. Let's see if it's right now. Nope. 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds until this possibly updates. Absolutely wild situation. I tried to go live the fastest I could on this thing. I didn't see it until it was pretty much over Whitman. Yeah, we were live when that scan was over Whitman and we were talking about it. I went live as quick as I could once I saw it. I did not wait. I did not wait for this one. YouTube did decide to say, screw you, I'm going to make you end the live stream and then begin again. So I don't know if you guys got a double notification of this. Let me go look at that, actually. No, you didn't. I don't know. YouTube just didn't start my stream. Ignore the double echo you heard there. That was me clicking on my own stream. That ZDR is still going to be there. It's not going anywhere. This thing's not gonna go anywhere. It is not gonna go anywhere. So make sure if you're out in front of this, Buckdale, is that Flats? Yeah, that's Flats, western Nebraska. Make sure you're seeking shelter. This storm's not going anywhere. It's a fully mature supercell, so it's broken through that cap. It's tapping into that significant environment ahead. So it's gonna keep going. As long as that ZDR arc stays in place, this supercell is going to continue for at least another hour. You may be saying, what's so important about the ZDR arc? That's really the core of the storm. When you look at ZDR, it's basically telling you if winds are vertical or horizontal. So it's what can determine the intensity of a tornado and the intensity of a storm. A very difficult product and complicated product to use. I typically only use it for classic supercells to see what they're doing. And I mean, this is still 100%, 100% still a ZDR arc, and this is probably back on the ground. This is probably back on the ground. So, we'll see the next velocity scan to determine what the wind speeds are on that, and it may just be right back on the ground right now. Yep, that's a donut tornado right there. The hook is really close to the western side of the supercell, so this is probably going to be more of a donut rain wrap tornado. This is back on the ground. Back on the ground again. That quickly, y'all. That quickly. That's why I was pointing out that ZDR so many times. Because I wanted y'all to make sure that this could easily put down another tornado. Gracious day, y'all. Absolutely insane. There's another report relayed from neighboring weather service office. No way. Oh, someone must have just called in the wrong National Weather Service. For a split second, I thought maybe the other National Weather Service was looking at the storm than the one here. I was like, are you telling me a National Weather Service from somewhere outside of Nebraska saw this supercell and went, hey, that's on the ground? It wouldn't surprise me. But this is on the ground again, y'all. This is on the ground currently. It is radar indicated. That is still on the ground. This is becoming a big tornado again. This is becoming a big tornado again. So please make sure you are seeking shelter here. There may be multiple injuries in Whitman, so I pray that EMS and chasers are on their way there to help with relief efforts, as a strong unwarned tornado is a big deal. For any National Weather Service jurisdiction, this is going to be looked into. It will be looked into. By the way, the storm in Oklahoma is now destructive for 2.75-inch hail for the north of Cedar Valley area, which is well north of OKC. That is a life-threatening situation for large hail. All right, so now we've confirmed this warning, but we are not confirming the warning where the tornado is. Hopefully that is confirmed in a split second, because there's no excuse to confirm this one first. Priority should be where the tornado is. There's no reason for you to confirm this one when the tornado's over here. That's not a good move. You're not helping your case here. Who is this? National Weather Service in North Platte. What the heck is that? Oh, and hold on, what is that? That might not be a debris signature on the next scan. Hold on, I gotta have an analysis radar for this. It's still there. I was talking about I meant to say a reflectivity debris scan. So that's not a reflectivity debris ball. Your tornado is up here. It's pretty much in the inflow notch now. It's in the inflow notch, which is why I thought this thing was going to become a donut. Gracious day. Very disappointed in the National Weather Service. I get missing the small tornadoes that are a difficult call to confirm. But this bad is stupid. When you have this classic of a supercell and a debris ball and a ZDR arc is defined as that with spectrum width and all the other products you can imagine confirming a tornado, and you wait until after it hits the town to even give it a radar indicated warning. Even radar indicated would have been a better call than nothing. But you just wait until after it hits the town to warn it, and then it puts down another tornado, and you confirm the warning behind it? What the heck? Somebody's getting fired tonight. Somebody is getting fired tonight. And it's stupid that it has to be in the potential cost of lives. Man. There's radar scope. I just wanted to show you guys the debris ball with the radar scope reflectivity. For some of those who, can only really determine the magnitude of storms with radar scopes reflectivity. We'll just loop this, show you where this started out and how it's ended up. So there it was. I mentioned it. We ended the live stream, and then boom, that's where your tornadoes started occurring. Let's go back on that. The difference between this scan and that is crazy. Look at that debris ball. Look at that. I mean, look at that. Unwarned. That's just crazy. It might have been warned on that scan, actually. Hold on. Let's go back and look. Okay, it was warned on this scan. This scan, it was warned, but the last scan here, it was not. And I don't know what the heck just happened. Oh, new radar update. Or, radar scan. This is most likely lifting now. Again. Maybe for upwards of the third time. Gracious day. Up and tilts, that's on the old scans, though. Yeah, this is weakening quickly again. Is that ZDR arc still well-defined? Yep. It's still well-defined. It's breaking up a little bit in the middle on that last scan there, but you still have a well-defined ZDR arc right here. And then, like I said, I think you may have a rain... This was definitely a rain-wrapped and probably a donut tornado. And what I mean by that is rain wrapping fully around it. See this gray right here, by the way, if y'all didn't know. It's very hard to distinguish. It's only in strong tornadoes. But like this dark green, that dark gray, that's the tornado. This product is showing you the tornado as it's occurring. That is intense vertical winds. So really intense rotation with that, with a debris signature tornado on the ground with that. And you can see it breaks up there, and then it comes back a bit right here. You can see it again. And you can kind of make it out. It's difficult on that scan, a little bit of corruption there. And the next scans, you really can't pinpoint it anymore. It really starts to fall apart towards that hook. So that might still be on the ground. Maybe weakening and lifting, but that's probably still on the ground. Still not observed, by the way. Still not observed. That new scan looks stronger. Look at that. That's still over 100 mile an hour rotation. Whereas the older scan was 100 mile an hour rotation. This is still strong. This is still strong. Again, not confirmed, by the way. Also, we just received a report of 4.5-inch hail. That was at 7:30 p.m. Whenever that was. 7:30 p.m. Central, so 8:30 p.m. That's a very delayed report then. Let me see where that possibly was. Oh, wait. Hold on. Is that from this supercell? Yeah, it's from this supercell. 7:30 p.m.? That doesn't make sense. So that's 9:30 Eastern then. So this scan here, which we were probably ending the stream, if not already ended the live stream before once this occurred. So that's crazy. 4.5-inch hail with this scan. That is ridiculous. Oh my word, we're breaking debris signatures again. We are breaking our debris signature again. The hook is falling apart, but the ZDR arc is still very much there. But the hook is falling apart, so this is most likely going to need a full new hook echo, but probably in the same spot. Gracious day. Still on the ground. Hold on. Alright, when did this possibly touch down again? That's what, 22? That's 24. So at least 8 minutes. Absolutely crazy, man. Where the heck are the other National Weather Service employees watching this happen? Isn't there more than like one meteorologist at a National Weather Service place? Is it just the same person who doesn't know what a tornado looks like on radar? I'm trying not to be mean to the National Weather Service because I understand they always saves lives, but the truth is they may have costed a few today, as terrible as that sounds. I mean, an unwarned strong tornado is a big deal. That is a big deal. Now it's not as well defined of a tornado. It may be fallout, but that's probably still a tornado on the ground. That is probably still a tornado on the ground. My word. Absolutely crazy, y'all. So again, this tornado is either lifting or on a weakening trend. Not to say it won't just explode again like it did last time it weakened. It just re-intensified and produced another tornado, or shrunk and then increased in intensity again. Another destructive severe in Oklahoma for this time 2.75-inch hail and 80-mile-an-hour winds. So this is a very dangerous situation going right for Cedar Valley, Oklahoma, north of OKC. Extremely dangerous situation for northern OKC. It is not an official, what is it? EDS. It's not an official EDS severe. But this is a very dangerous storm going into, about to go into northern OKC in the next 30 minutes or so. Back over to our tornado that is probably still on the ground and not confirmed. That area is a lot less, is large too, so regardless, this is a smaller tornado. This was a fat tornado. At least you're looking at a very strong, large stovepipe at the minimum. Now you're probably looking at a little drill bit tornado, if not the tornado's starting to lift, like I said, which it might be. It might actually have lifted. I want to see the next velocity scan. Not to say it won't just produce another tornado. Again, the ZDR is still very solid on this storm. It's a lot more messy, though. There's not a classic ZDR arc. It's more of a clustery ZDR arc over here. Whereas before, if I go back a couple frames to when this was producing a very strong to intense tornado, you had that very sharp classic ZDR arc. There's a reflectivity matching up with that. So, yeah, this is, again, most likely a very weak tornado, if not a tornado that is already lifted. So we're going to continue to monitor that as it continues off to the east, southeast out here, going just to the east of Flats in Nebraska. And then again, we have a very dangerous situation ongoing north of OKC. I want to just continue to remind you guys of that. The storm that I said would continue to potentially produce 80+ mile an hour winds is still warned for 80 mile an hour winds, as well as now 2.75-inch hail. And this is going to go right towards OKC, which is also why I said I thought we were going to see a slight risk out here, but they didn't pull the trigger on that. So this storm's not even close to as classic as what it was before. It was a very textbook supercell. I mean, the only thing that you could nitpick about is maybe the inflow was too close to the tornado. There wasn't enough gap between that inflow and the tornado. That's really the only thing you can nitpick about. There's still a good debris signature on that. That is probably still on the ground. It's just very weak. But that is probably still on the ground. Excuse me. What the heck? Do I need stronger glasses here, or hold on, let me okay. Radar site here. Warning text 50 miles per hour. Radar beam only 700 feet off of the ground. Wind velocities 85, 91, 112. Let me look at the warning again. 50. Velocities 80. Warning 50. Velocities 80. Warning 50. Huh? What? Somebody needs to wake the heck up over there. Now, yes, the velocities, we're probably not seeing 80, 90, 112 mile an hour winds here. But I think we're at least seeing 60 mile an hour winds with that pocket of 110 velocities, only 700 feet up. Now, if this was 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, etc. feet up, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. But this is just 700 feet off of ground level, and we have velocity readings of well over 90 miles per hour, upwards of 112 miles per hour. And again, the special weather statement is for 50. We are most likely seeing at least 60 mile an hour winds with that. So I don't know what the heck they're doing. But, okay. I mean, you can see no other storm looks like this. See all the velocity signatures on every other storm? They're not even close to what this thing looks like. That's a pixel of 119 mile an hour winds right there. Now that is corrupted because you could see the corruption beam on this. You see the corruption beam on this, but this is at least producing 60 mile an hour winds. And then here's our storm that produced a strong to intense tornado unwarned for multiple minutes. It doesn't look nearly as impressive, and we are finally down to only a 60 mile an hour rotation here with a very light debris signature. Let's see. I mean, gracious day. Now, with this wind thing, this could just be a little bit of a glitch, but again, we're at least seeing 60-mile-an-hour winds from there. It is impossible for the velocity to stay that consistent for that long and be completely dead wrong. And based on the fact that this has its own freaking outflow boundary, I would be very shocked if we're not seeing at least 60-mile-an-hour winds with that. This storm is the ZDR. Let's look at the ZDR. It's falling apart, but it is still there. As long as we keep a solid stretch of red ZDR right here, this thing's still going to have that classic supercell look to it. Please tell me we're not considering unwarning this. Right? We're not considering letting this go unwarned. I mean, yes, it's not rotating right now, but this is still very much could recycle. This could very much recycle. I guess I'd understand if they don't continue that because the air rotation's so weak, but I don't know. I don't know. Okay. See how that ZDR broke up right there? That might actually mean this storm's weakening, so that in itself might just want them to not issue the tornado warning. Because that ZDR arc just fell apart. So now your classic shape is more like this here, and then broken, 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 and then back over here. So it's more of a broken supercell. It's not as classic there. But you still have a hook echo right here. And you still have the rest of your supercell. And you still have your big inflow notch. And you still have an area of very weak velocities. And this storm has produced at least one strong tornado. At least one strong tornado. 90-mile-an-hour wind report. Where the heck is that? Where the heck is that? Where the heck is that? Where the heck is a 90-mile-an-hour wind report? What's the time on that? 0238Z. That's 7 minutes ago. Where the heck is that? Hold on, y'all. We gotta try to find this. Oklahoma? I don't see it. We are not tornado warned. What the heck? Alright, I guess we're going to the destructive severe. I don't know exactly where this is. Omaha! Oh my goodness! Yeah! Report of 90 warrants a 90-mile-an-hour severe. Yeah. Good job. Good job on actually, issuing the warning and listening to the report. Holy crap. See, now these are velocities of 89-mile-an-hour winds. And what did we get? 90-mile-an-hour winds. Let's go back over here. Now these velocities have weakened a bit, but that's still 86-mile-an-hour winds there on velocities. So there you go. That's a 90-mile-an-hour destructive severe. I'm still not fully convinced that thing's gonna die out. It's mini, but never underestimate a mini supercell. That thing could be done. 90-mile-an-hour wind report. Yikes. That's a doozy. That is a big doozy for Omaha, man. It could have been greater than that. Why the heck was this only warned for 60? What are we, freaking North Platte National Weather Service? Where's my data button? There it is. Trying to download previous frames here. Bro, what? Braking velocities and this was only warned for 60? Oh my word. You're receiving reports of damage from this storm. This report was filed at 72-mile-an-hour winds and then upgraded to 90, but you didn't even issue the severe for 70. You did it for 60 and then eventually upgraded it to 90 thanks to that new one. What is happening tonight? That should have been warned for. I mean, that's just my opinion. If I received a report of 72-mile-an-hour winds, I'm gonna warn it for 70, not for 60. So that should have been warned for 70 right off the bat, right here, this polygon. At this point, they even issued a new one. They had a report of 72-mile-an-hour winds that was later corrected to 90. They still issued that 60-mile-an-hour severe. And then let's see how much longer. All right, there's 31. So that's 6 minutes. Right there, that is 6 minutes without it being upgraded. And then we go on to 8 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes after receiving the report of 72-mile-an-hour winds that was later upgraded to 90, they issued the severe 90-mile-an-hour winds. You may be thinking, 10 minutes, that's not too bad. Well, when it comes to a population of over 200,000 people being impacted in eastern Omaha, that is going to matter a whole lot. And 10 minutes makes a big difference. A massive difference. Because you can get in your safe spot in, hopefully, I hope, less than 1 minute. So a 10-minute warning, that is going to give you a big warning. Like I said, maybe I'm just being a little bit too harsh on this National Weather Service, but I mean, they received reports of trees down and limbs down. Velocity signature was, at this point, look at this, right here, it was at 112. Again, this is not, but this is only, this is even more, 1,000 feet off of the ground here. And you can see, look at the wind speeds, intensifying, breaking velocity, and then continuing to intensify, and finally we get that destructive severe warning. Okay, that ZDR it's still there. It's still there. I'm not fully trusting that this thing's done. This has got to be some sort of stupid radar glitch. There's no way they'd let this go unwarned. Again, I think these 100-mile-an-hour pixels are corrupted, but this widespread of 60 to 80-mile-an-hour winds, there's no way all of that's corrupted. And it matches up exactly right. Our most significant damaging winds, we've talked about this before, it's always at the bowing side. And if we see a tornado, it's at the notch. And in this case, the notch is here. So I'd be watching out for little areas of rotation there. Let me get my analysis radar on that. The analysis radar doesn't say there's any areas of solid rotation here. Maybe this is just some terrible radar. I don't know. I don't feel like the National Weather Service would be that blind. You know, maybe a warning of 60-mile-per-hour winds would be warranted at that point, at least, but I mean, sure. Why not keep it for 50? Actually, this isn't even warned for 50 anymore, because it's moving out of that area. But we do have a, I believe this is going to be an EDS, right? Observed 90-mile-an-hour winds. This is not an EDS. It's a PDS, not an EDS. So if you are out in Oakland, there's a damaging storm of 90-plus mile-an-hour winds here. So make sure you are Jeez, make sure you are in your safe spot. Radar estimates EF4 plus intensity unwarned. That would be stupid. That would be stupid. An unwarned EF4. If that actually gets rated EF4, oh my goodness. That's radar estimates is an EF4 based off the debris signature and the amount of rotation as well as the location. So the rating, of course, the official rating has to be, they have to rate it, duh. But an estimate of EF4, I mean, if that even gets, it occurred, and that's what sucks. The rating is, of course, going to matter in the sense of science and everything like that, but just the fact that it could be that intense unwarned. Oh my word. I mean, we don't want to pre-rate Andrea, but you know, it most like being realistic, it was most likely an EF2 plus, just based off the fact that it hit a pretty populated town, as well as had such a significant debris signature. So I don't know. Like I said, you don't want to pre-rate, but it's good to mention the possibilities that actually may have been a violent unwarned tornado. Oh, wow. Hold on. Just to do this real quick. So there's the report of a tornado on the ground, all right? Normally when you see a tornado report, that means the tornado's ongoing. That's how it works. And they saw this tornado report, and they observed this polygon here, this blue one. You see this blue one? That's what they observed. By the time they observed that polygon, this tornado was most likely outside that polygon. So what did they do? They left it radar indicated. That's what they did. They left the extension radar indicated. So to correspond with a report of a tornado, they upgraded the old polygon, and where the tornado was moving, they left as radar indicated, with a debris signature being evident for not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, but 8 scans over the time frame of at least 10 minutes, and it never went observed. Man. Oh, mind you, this was after they missed a violent tornado occurring on radar. So just to show you why we live stream this stuff and why I give you my input on things, because this is how bad it is sometimes. Now, I'll say this is the worst I've ever seen. This is by far worse than the Tory without a tornado, because a Tory without a tornado, okay, yes, it's a crazy false alarm, the highest end warning without any tornado. That's ridiculous. But no warning with a violent tornado is way worse, because that means people got impacted, potentially catastrophic damage without any warning, as opposed to a warning for catastrophic damage and we saw nothing. That's much better. That is much better. Having a warning for catastrophic damage and we see nothing, that's, you know, they've investigated that scenario a lot, and it was a combination of bad radar data, false reports, fake reports, and somebody who was making those fake reports from, I think they said Ohio or something. And, you know, in that case, with all that data, you know, you'd think there is a tornado on the ground, so they went with the safe bet and issued the warning. That's okay, because you had all that data. It's better safe than sorry. Of course, the person who filed all the fake reports was never arrested. I know, let's use logic here. So, now there's a few instances, but anyways, my point is I'd rather have a warning with no tornado than no warning with a tornado. And I'm sure that's how most people would have it. That's why we seek shelter with any tornado warning. But that's the thing. There wasn't a tornado warning. It was a normal severe thunderstorm warning, which normal severe thunderstorm warnings, I always say, stay away from doors and windows. That's really it. It's a low wind severe thunderstorm warning. And then boom, violent tornado unwarned out of nowhere. But honestly, if you showed me this signature, I mean, gracious day, what didn't warrant at least a radar indicated warning? My word. Sorry if it sounds like I'm just attacking the National Weather Service right now. I mean, my apologies, I kind of am, but people could have, like, flat out, people could have actually died. We don't know yet because it's going to take a while for EMS and these people who are chasing these storms to be able to tweet. Their concern isn't tweeting about information. Their concern is being on the ground and helping people who've been impacted. We just got another report of 62-mile-an-hour winds in Omaha, Nebraska. I don't know with what storm that was. I imagine that's a slightly delayed report, 255. That was 3 minutes ago. So we just got another report of 60. Oh, there it is, right there. Right there. Which actually, this says it was reported. Can I get the... This says it was reported at 240, but maybe this is a different report. Oh, delayed report. Delayed report by about 15 minutes. Okay. Man. This National Weather Service did at least a little bit of a better job. You know, they upgraded that almost... I want to say almost... It wasn't. 72-mile-an-hour wind report. They issued the warning for 60. The airport got a warning, or rather a measured gust of 90. It still took them 8 minutes. I mean, that's still crucial time. Now, if this was a 60-mile-an-hour wind report, it wouldn't be too over the top. You know, if say they had a warning in for 50 and it was 60-mile-an-hour winds reported, it wouldn't be too big. But there's a big difference between 60-mile-an-hour winds and 90. I'm sure most of you could just figure out that that's a big difference between 60 and 90-mile-an-hour winds. And look at that. This storm is so intense. This is pretty rare. Normally, you only find this with, I want to say derechos, but honestly, really intense line segments. This thing is so strong that it has an outflow boundary in front of the storm, which is probably acting as a gust front. That is how strong this storm is in terms of damaging winds. Sometimes in this scenario, we could actually see damaging winds up to 60 just from the gust front from the storm. I've seen it before where we have a warning for 80, 90-mile-an-hour winds, and it produces a gust front outflow boundary, and then we see a severe warning for 60, and we see reports in that severe warning 60 plus. It's happened before, so this is a very intense storm. Hurricane and tornadic like wind speeds, which is why it's just as serious as if it's a tornado, which is why you need to be seeking shelter. And that's why I went over here and ranted about them taking forever to issue that 90-mile-an-hour wind severe. Now, again, if it was somebody sticking their finger outside the window saying this feels like 90, that would be debatable to issue a warning for 90. But this is measured from a mesonet at an airport. That's almost as official as it gets. The only next up level of official is a National Weather Service employee measuring 90-mile-an-hour winds. So this is very close to as official as it gets in terms of a report. All right, let's go to the current scan so I don't give myself a freaking heart attack like that. Almost thought that was a current scan. Again, my apologies for this feeling like I'm attacking the National Weather Service, but this is the worst thing I've ever seen. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. Just flat out. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I got busy typing. Man. Well, now that I'm all angered up, I ain't going to sleep till at least 1 o'clock tonight. Oh, by the way, they just issued a destructive severe for OKC. So if you're in Oklahoma City, this is a life-threatening situation for Oklahoma City. They just issued a destructive severe for OKC. Look at that orange polygon there. My word. Yes, I have seen them, Natalie. I have seen them. Again, I apologize for getting up on all that ranting. But I mean, it's a very serious situation. It's not like it's just a storm that produced 2 mile-an-hour winds and wasn't warned. Literally, a violent tornado going through a town is as bad as it gets. It doesn't get worse than that. That is the worst case scenario. An unwarned violent tornado is the worst thing anyone could imagine. A violent tornado is bad in itself, but completely unwarned is wild. Man. Give me just a second. I need to find this person's @ handle. Give me just a second. Sorry, y'all. Bear with me. I'm going to have to scroll through this and find it. Okay. And there we go. So it's still warning for 90-mile-an-hour winds in Oakland and Walnut in west central Iowa. Seek shelter immediately. That is a life-threatening situation. My word, I don't even know what to say after all that. We also have a life-threatening situation for the city of Oklahoma City. Where we have a pocket of potentially 80-mile-an-hour winds moving right for OKC. I was hoping this would miss OKC to the east, but that does not appear likely. What just happened, Joel? An unwarned violent tornado. I don't think I'm going to be able to wrap my head around that ever. An unwarned violent tornado. An unwarned potential EF4. Man, again, radar estimates that it was possibly EF4. That's just off of the whatchamacallit, off of radar alone, potential EF4. The only reason why I'm noting that at all is just to show you how serious of a situation it is. These warnings are very important. This is why we have so many false alarms, just in case something like this ever were to occur. That is why we warn every storm. That's why they warn every single area of rotation that is capable of producing a tornado. Because if it does produce a tornado, you're already in your safe spot. You already know about it. So, the fact that we actually had a scenario where a violent tornado went unwarned is kind of crazy. Tornado warnings are put out so frequently, so that way a situation like this doesn't happen. My word. This is literally everyone's worst nightmare. Oh my goodness. 30,000 feet. I don't think we're going to be hearing anything from Whitman tonight. 30,000 feet. I don't know if many tornadoes have ever lofted debris that high up. Oh my goodness. No wonder why radar estimates EF4. Gracious day. Twitter has now gotten wind of the storm that I was talking about here. And, we may have 60, 70, maybe even 80 mile an hour winds occurring out here unwarned. Oh my goodness. Are they actually sleeping? Like, I'm not trying to be a jerk here. But who is this? Who in the world got a degree in meteorology and is this blatantly blind? Hold on. Did they cancel that significant severe? They did. It's no longer warned for 90 now, which that makes 100% sense. The reports are going down to 60 mile an hour winds over here. So, they received a 90 mile an hour wind report here, which warranted them to upgrade it to 90 for this area. And now that it's moving into this region here, they're starting to see reports of just 60s, no 80s, no 70s either. But they're still keeping that at 70 mile an hour winds just in case, because they're getting multiple reports of 60 mile an hour winds, which means the storm is very capable of producing 60 mile an hour winds. It's very capable of producing 60 mile an hour winds, which means 70 mile an hour winds will be possible. There you go. There you go. If you're receiving reports of 65 mile an hour winds and a bunch of reports of 60, you're probably going to warn it for 70. So that's a good call from the National Weather Service in Omaha there. They were a little late. On the 90 mile an hour wind severe. I almost have a feeling that's because they were trying to help out the friends in North Platte. Which that would be insane. I saw it on Twitter. Somebody said that somebody quoted Connor's tweet that said, "I guess we don't warn obvious significant tornadoes anymore." And they said, the person who quoted it said that it's embarrassing and ashamed that it's not warned. And then Omaha got added in it, and Omaha added Platte. That's crazy. So it's almost like the National Weather Service in Omaha got tagged in the reports from North Platte, and Omaha told North Platte that there was a tornado ongoing that wasn't warned. And that is why they finally saw it. This is a whole hot mess. This is a whole hot mess, y'all. Oh, and also North Platte is currently they don't have a severe on a storm potentially producing up to 80 mile an hour winds. This is right at ground level. I mean, this is very close to ground level. You're looking 300 feet up. 300 feet up, and the radar is saying 79 mile an hour winds. 300 feet up. 700 feet up, it's saying like, what was it? Like between 90 and 100 mile an hour winds moments ago. And again, the warning 50. 50. 50 mile an hour winds. Radar is estimating anywhere between 75 and we'll just go with 105 mile an hour winds, and they warn it for 50. I say 105 because we've had a few pixels that have had 112, but I'm sure some of them are corruption and not true. For instance, like this, there's pixels of 110 mile an hour winds. How far are we from the radar? See, we're 4,000 feet up. If this was the same scenario back out in this area where we're seeing 80 mile an hour winds only 300 feet up, if that was 800 mile an hour winds, if that was 80 mile an hour winds 4,000 feet up, I'd say, okay, that makes sense. 4,000 feet up, you're seeing 80 mile an hour winds, and the winds are probably going to be weaker every time you get closer to the surface. So you're probably seeing 60 closer to the surface, but no, this is 300 feet off the ground, 80 mile an hour winds. So the fact that we don't even have a severe for 60 out here, that's crazy. That is crazy. Well, I'm really glad I didn't hesitate to go live for this one, because it's been stupid. I was a little late to the party thanks to my YouTube saying you can't go live, so I had to end it and reschedule the stream. So I went live as Whitman was being hit by the storm. But I mean, I went live for it, and that's all that matters. And I came back. I came back. Absolutely insane, man. Well, I mean, if this isn't being warned for anything, we may just conclude stream, even though there may be that significant winds occurring. We do have an 80 mile an hour severe for Oklahoma City, actually. So we may stay live just to cover that for another 45 minutes or so. We'll see. I'll make the call to either end in 13 or later minutes. I really wish I went live earlier. I always hate when I do that. I hate when I'm late to the party because I love to give analysis before this stuff happens and try to predict it. So I really hate that I was late to the party on this. But at least I didn't wait because I could have missed it completely. Again, we went live as the tornado was over Whitman. It was over Whitman when I went live, if not just passing Whitman. Would have been live a minute earlier if YouTube didn't waste my time, but again, what can you do? What can you do? That's also crazy. The fact that I was able to get a stream set up, go live, end the stream, set another stream up, go live, cover it for 5 minutes, and it still wasn't warned. That's crazy. That's crazy. I was like, I might as well have just gone and get me do something else too, because that took forever to get warned, man. I really hope everybody's okay in Whitman. I really hope everyone's okay, but unfortunately, I highly doubt it. I haven't asked this at all in this live stream because we've been doing intense live coverage. But if you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. and share this stream with their family, friends, social media. We have something that we call urgent coverage on this channel, where if it is warranted, I will go live on a moment's notice to cover any threat for severe weather. Typically, what what occurs is, give me just a second. Typically, a PDS tornado warning or a destructive severe 90-mile-an-hour winds will warrant urgent coverage. Sometimes, if I feel like going live, and it's at least something, I will go live for it. So, urgent coverages, they're not really a specified thing to make me go live. It's really if I feel like it's significant enough, I'll go live for it. Or if I have time. If it's like an unplanned live stream, I'll probably just still keep it as breaking as opposed to urgent. Those are really the two different things. You see the red dot, and then it either says breaking, urgent. Urgent means we're in trouble. Breaking means it's coverage on that threat that's ongoing, or a briefing. What is what now? What? Bando, what tornado do you think was about the same intensity as Greenfield, in your opinion? Um, I'd say Mayfield. I agree with Indiana. I'd say Mayfield. Rolling Fork was a bit too strong. Well, I don't know. I don't know, because Greenfield had observed winds at 308 miles per hour. So, in terms of rating, it was more similar to Mayfield. In terms of wind speeds, it's in its own category. It's the strongest tornado to occur. It's in its own category. There is no comparable tornado. The closest one you can compare it to is Bridge Creek, 1999, I believe. Man, we just got a special MCD for OKC. A severe risk is to increase across portions of the Oklahoma City metro area in the next hour as a cluster of storms moves southward. Watch issuance should not be needed because it's just one storm. 80-mile-an-hour winds and golf ball sized hail. These threats are expected across portions of the metro area, and they don't say this, but it should dissipate in about 2 hours, close to 1 a.m. Hold on, let me do this. There we go. Make it at least a little higher quality. Okay. I'm not really too sure. I'm not really too sure. I don't think it's preliminary anymore for Greenfield. Um, but I haven't really honestly checked up on the surveys any in the last 20 days. Um, I still think we could have it's weaker now, but I still think we could have upwards of 75, maybe even pushing 80-mile-an-hour winds with this storm towards Dunning. So I would personally get in my safe spot. Based off those radar signatures, I would get in my safe spot. Why risk it if I'm in Dunning, Nebraska? Let me go ahead and just do this real quick. Sorry for not speaking there, y'all. I'm busy typing something again. Okay. Let's see what OKC looks like. I'll look at that in just a second. And there we go. Now I could go back to looking at OKC. Let's go to the first scan there. So here's the ZDR. Wow, that is way worse. Oh my goodness. See how bundled up that got? So this was the classic look it had before. Classic. And then you can see the southern ZDR started to interfere with it. And then after that happened, it just bundled up and it's not even much of a threat anymore. They may actually go sub-severe with that, which I wouldn't blame them considering it's considering it doesn't look that bad. Oh, uh-oh. It's hitting North Platte, right where the National Weather Service is. So we'll continue to just keep an eye on some of these storms up here, but the main threat is probably going to be focused in OKC for the next this cluster for the next hour and a half, all the way until 1 a.m. I think this stuff's going to really die out around 1 a.m. Let me look at the newest HRRR. Man, I was waiting for the rest of the 00Z model when this stuff occurred. HRRR still has this for another, like I said, hour and a half. Should rapidly weaken south of OKC around 12:30, 1 a.m. Shouldn't last much longer. Let's see. And it is still very possible for a MCS tonight, so if you're in this area, let me zoom out. If you're in this area, still be really weather aware because we might just have a significant MCS of 70 plus mile an hour winds in your area late tonight. That's going to begin probably closer to 1 a.m. and it's actually beginning now out there in Omaha. They just went destructive. I think we'll look at that, see if it's still destructive again. And that's going to last throughout the entire night into tomorrow morning. Let me see the HRRR for my area tomorrow. Okay, the HRRR completely moved the threat. Instead of southern PA, now it's southern New York, northern PA. Models have never been good at summertime forecast, so I don't believe that. I don't believe that. And it shows not much for Thursday. Big downtrend there. NAM model still shows something for Thursday, just not anything too crazy. Tomorrow it shows a line of significant damaging winds across all the way from Kentucky to the coastline of the New England states. Man. Oops, not that. I'm reading the reports that we've received today. So that's the National Weather Service in North Platte for those wondering who didn't issue that tornado emergency for tornado or didn't issue a tornado warning for tornado on the ground. It wouldn't have warranted a Tory due to the population, for those wondering that. Oops. Sorry, I'm very quiet, y'all. I'm really just waiting for the end time of the stream and just monitoring that storm in Oklahoma. There's your pocket of 80 plus mile an hour winds there. They just removed the 80 mile an hour wind destructive, so that's good news. This one did not go destructive like I thought again, so that's good news. Wow. Alrighty, y'all. Well, I guess I'll just keep the radar down here. What is chat yapping about? What are y'all yapping about? I ain't even looked in chat half this stream. What are you guys talking about in there? Brief me real quick. Could I show the H triple R? Sure. Here it is. You can see barely anything. There's nothing notable at all. Your heaviest thunderstorm possibilities will be tomorrow, close to about 7 p.m. Eastern. I actually think we're without a PDS warning now. Let me change that for you guys. I don't think it's PDS. I'm pretty sure we just lost it. Oh. they just issued it again. You gotta be kidding me. Can't make that up. They literally just issued it again. 80 mile per hour severe now again for OKC pointing to the south. Man, Oops. Absolutely crazy, y'all. That's your severe in Oklahoma. Gracious day. I kind of want to know who was the person who issued those warnings in North Platte. The only reason is I want to know. I also want to know how many meteorologists work at a National Weather Service. It'd be nice to know a lot more of the meteorologists. And if that person, by the way, if you do figure out who didn't issue the warnings, don't go after them. Yeah, as hard as that may be, don't go after the person who didn't issue the tornado warning. That's not going to make a situation better. All that matters is that they eventually issued the warning, but I mean it's quite a doozy. It's really not good in any situation there. But if you do like going after the National Weather Service in North Platte, try not to go after them as well. That's going to be very difficult, though. Just try not to send too much hate out there. But again, that's going to be difficult. I've kind of already done that myself. I'll admit to that one, but I mean, it's just not something that occurs often. Ever. This is a story that you'd hear from 1930s before any solid radar technology was developed. Not in this day and age. This day and age, an unwarned violent tornado, that should be unheard of. That is crazy. Ethan, it is North Platte. Not like a freaking dinner plate. It's North Platte. That's how we pronounce it. Don't say, no, you're wrong. You're in Canada, buddy. I've been corrected on a lot of towns, and I know it's North Platte. It's not North Dinner Plate. So if you're in Midwest City, OKC, just make sure you're in your safe spot. I'm not really too energetic anymore. I'm starting to get tired. I'm starting to get dizzy. So I'm probably gonna I'm gonna head off in 22 more minutes. Thank you for tuning in, Andrea. Much appreciated, as well as everyone else who's in here. Thank you for tuning in to the urgent coverage. Over 1,000 of you guys watched me yap on about the National Weather Service not doing their job correctly. My apologies. I'm sorry for that, but it's just I'm not really used to a situation where a violent tornado isn't warned. I'm not used to that. I had a great birthday until now. The thing that would make it better is if I hear that there's absolutely no injuries or fatalities, and I can't even remember the town name. It's getting late, y'all. My apologies. Oh my word, I actually can't remember at all. I'm gonna have to look at the radar site and go all the way back. Whitman. That would make my day at least a little bit better if I hear that there's no injuries and fatalities there. The reason why it wouldn't make it a lot better, because regardless, they've been hit. Like I said, there is no good situation here. Period. If there's no injuries and fatalities, that's fantastic. The only issue is they still got hit. So there's no good situation. There's better situations, where there's no fatalities, minimal damage, but there's no good situation with that. So there's no point in me keeping this radar open. They're just straight up not gonna give this Boeing segment potentially still producing 60-mile-an-hour winds a warning. So there's really no point in me having that site open anymore. This is really going into a radar hole. These storms are getting close to the radar. These are going away. So I could open a National Weather Service in Des Moines radar site. I'll just show you guys what that looks like. It's nothing too crazy. This is the mess that's eventually going to merge with the mess back here off your screen. Let me show you. Eventually, this mess mixed with this mess, mixed with additional convection here, mixed with this mess here, will eventually merge into a more confined line around the realms of this long here, move to the southeast, and then begin to intensify wider. And then once it goes towards Springfield, it will weaken, but still be very long in terms of widespread, isolated, damaging winds as we go into tomorrow morning. So I'm going to move this radar site. They're just not going to warn that. I'm just going to move it to Oklahoma for the last 19 minutes of this stream. See if we can get one more like. We're at 59 likes. So if you guys haven't already, hit that like button. It's greatly appreciated. What a day. Well, I freaking jinxed us. I said I don't think we're going to get to 388 reports. We're at 353, and we will get more. So this is most likely going to be the biggest outbreak in June, and it feels like it. It feels like it. We're coming up on 6 hours of coverage today. I wish I didn't end, but man, that break was... I needed that break. If I didn't take that break, I probably wouldn't be able to speak right now. So, I wish I didn't take that long of a break. I wish I came back sooner, but I mean, what can you do? I'm just glad I came back. Because, oh boy, this was a historic live stream. Let's see here. Reed Dimmer just saw the tornado that Connor got, and he said, what in tarnation? Man, I forgot about that word. That's a good word. Tarnation. If you must know, Ethan, I actually get extremely dizzy due to my blood pressure dropping from my heart suffering of cancer and suffocation and 6 rounds of the most intense chemo. So, yes, I get a little bit doozy. That's why I'm not good at overnight coverages. It's just 2024. Unwarned violent tornado, honestly. I don't know why that wasn't on my bingo card for this year. It should have been on my bingo card. It's 2024. I think we're going to have to make a bingo card. I think we're going to have to make a bingo card for 2025 and see what we can cross out. That might be something we have to do. This storm in Oklahoma City is weakening. It's weakening as it's approaching the radar site. That is very evident. There might be a little pocket that's going to try to slam the radar site and try to knock it out here in about 10 minutes. I guess we'll be live for that. We're going to be live for about 15 more minutes. I'm not going to do any outro music because it was an urgent coverage. I guess I'll rename this the Unwarned Strong to Potentially Violent Tornado as it happened. You think that's okay, Ethan? Should I name it the the unwarned potentially violent tornado, the unwarned potentially strong tornado, the unwarned tornado. What wording should I put? What should I do? It hasn't been rated violent, so it's not officially violent, so I wouldn't say the violent tornado because it's not rated violent yet. Man. Well, glad to still see you're here, Chip. I know a lot of people are leaving. That's perfectly fine. We're not really doing too much coverage. I'm just thankful that all you guys tuned in to watch me talk about a place that's probably thousands of miles away from your house. The unwarned tornado of 2024 as it happened. I can't put that because we've had countless amount of unwarned tornadoes in 2024. So I'm gonna have to do strong or violent because that's what makes it ridiculous. Because an unwarned tornado, that's like, depending on the intensity, regardless, it's bad. But an unwarned violent tornado, which is potentially what we had, is, like I said, just ridiculous. I'll just I'll just title it for now the unwarned potentially strong tornado of 2024 as it happened. Because what did I name the last live stream? Like the surprise tornado and severe weather outbreak as it happened on June 25th, 2024. I think I named it something like that. If you had no unwarned potentially violent tornado, you're being card today. I did not, man. I had a potential strong, brief, weak tornado in northeast, or brief weak, what the heck? I had a potentially strong, brief tornado in northeast Nebraska today on my bingo card. Um, Northwest Nebraska, violent, unwarned, no. Potentially violent again. It's that's up to the National Weather Service. They're gonna rate it. If it gets rated EF2, EF3, that's strong. If it gets rated EF4, or for some reason, if we manage to have seen an unwarned EF5, that would also be violent. Man, I haven't heard a thing from the town, so um, I don't know. Somebody said that seems like Whitman's okay, but I don't know if that's a um a trustworthy source. I hope it is a trustworthy source, so that way we don't have to worry about anything that happened out there. We did actually just get an a severe thunderstorm watch. I think. Did I just imagine a severe watch? No, we got a severe watch. Oh, it's not in Oklahoma. It's up here. Severe watch till 5 a.m. Eastern. A couple tornadoes possible, 2-inch hail possible, and 75-mile-an-hour winds possible. Possible. Well, I'll find out very, very quickly in the morning, Ethan. We'll see. We will see. Well, this has 12 minutes left. We end in 10, so we'll have to end under a PDS severe unless that gets canceled. That is the only significant severe. Everything else is a normal severe. We're down to 12 severes and only one is significant. And that's in Oklahoma City and a marginal risk because it's Oklahoma and it's a marginal risk. And it's 2024. But we're definitely going to surpass 388 reports. So this is definitely going to be the biggest outbreak of June in terms of reports. Which I didn't think we'd hit it, but that did it. That is definitely going to do it right there. 90-mile-an-hour winds in Omaha. Potentially unwarned violent tornado. 80-mile-an-hour winds in Oklahoma City. That's going to do it. That's going to rack up your reports. Man. Absolutely crazy. I really have to know what was happening in North Platte. Because I want to know if it's, did somebody just go to the bathroom for a little too long or something? I want to know. I want to know. As weird as that just sounded, I want to know. I want to know if somebody was just looking away or what. Because there's no way. There's typically like at least 4 meteorologists watching the radar on a severe weather day in the National Weather Service. So I just don't get it. I'm trying to make the situation a little bit lighter because that's crazy. Potentially definitely unwarned, but unwarned potentially violent tornado. Oops. Like I said, I'm gonna be a little bit on the quieter side of things until the end, y'all. It's past my bedtime. I ain't supposed to be streaming right now. Oh, I just realized we have a terminal radar. I wonder what that shows. I want my eyes back. Can we please switch to this? Gracious day. Again, that's our only significant storm right now. There's no tornado warnings. There's no considerable severes. There's no other destructive severes. This is the only destructive severe active. So there's nothing else to keep an eye on except this for now. That won't last too long. If we don't get out of here fast, we're going to be here forever. Thank you, King. Much appreciated. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for the kind words. Your reds are so dark like that. It's a different color table. I have a different velocity color table for both of my sites. See, they look different on both of these sites. Different color tables. Let me send you a site. Let's see here. I'll send it in chat. So if you want to find some, here's a bunch of them. If you want to go find some, download them. I just put it in the chat. I don't know which one I use, but there's a variety of velocities that you can find on that. And it depends on what app you use. You can change it differently. On Radar Omega, I want to make sure this isn't going to show private information. Let's see. Yeah, so on Radar Omega, you click the 3 lines at the top left, click Radar, color tables, velocity, and then there's all of them. Mine's just default on Radar Omega. It's just default. So I don't even have a custom one on Radar Omega, but I know for a fact this is custom on GR2. You're welcome. I have a tutorial on it if you want to go watch that. A tutorial on Radar Omega. It is a bit outdated though, so you know, there's some new features to the app. I want to try to get around to do it, but there's just no time. We're live every day for hours a day, and if not, we're doing videos and live streams, and if not that, then I'm attempting to do member streams, but those have been put off a lot too. There's just been so much stuff. Then the tropics are already here. It's like, gracious day, dude. I can't handle another year of this. We better not have another 2024 repeat in 2025, or we are done for. We are done for. Well, I am. I'm done for. This destructive lasts for 6 more minutes. This live stream will end in approximately 3 minutes and 10 seconds. 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Now 3 minutes and 5 seconds. I have GR2 analysis. It's like $250. There's no monthly payment on it though. So let's see if I can get it. Yeah, here it is. This is the one I have. GR2 Analysis 3.0. I think there's a 7 or a 14-day free trial on that if you've never used it. But, yeah, we're about to end here shortly, y'all. We'll be live again tomorrow. I don't know when. I do not know when I'll be live tomorrow. I'll just be live at some point. So, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell set to all, so you know when I go live tomorrow. And still keep an eye on this. I wouldn't be too surprised if we continue to see this destructive severe over the next hour. This stuff should rapidly weaken towards 12:30 midnight, or 12:30 1 a.m. Eastern time. And yeah, we reached over 1,500 people with the word of severe weather in this live stream. We reached over 3,000 in the last live stream. So combined, we've reached nearly 4,000 people, or I can't do math, nearly 5,000 people with the word of severe weather. Nearly 5,000 people with the word of severe weather today, thanks to your guys' help. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. I thank you to the mods who were modding chat. I know Chip stuck around for most of the stream. I don't think I saw any of the other mods in here. Chip, I think you were the only mod. Thank you for tuning in and modding the chat. The others must have went to sleep once I ended and thought, yep, TRG's in and that means it's done. You thought TRG ends and then a big tornado touches down. That's how it goes. That's a TRG moment. That is what it is. I shouldn't have ended. It's my fault. This just might be producing near 100-mile-an-hour winds over the radar site. We're going to end, though, because if I keep going for any longer, I'm going to fall asleep in this chair. So just watch out, Oklahoma City, southeast of Midwest City. We could have up to 100-mile-an-hour winds in this area over the course of the next hour between now and 1 a.m. Eastern. So that's 11 p.m. and midnight Central. And then after that, storm should weaken about 1 a.m. and after that. So, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. It's greatly appreciated having you guys hang around here for the 2 hours I was live. Thank you to every last person who tuned in today. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. And that is about it. Again, thank you, Chip, and other mods for modding the chat. Stay safe, watch severe weather in the tropic. Have a